Well, hey YouTube, how's it going? Up here in Lafayette, went to Hunter's Moon Harley Davidson, where the fine folks are letting me do some more test drives today. So today I've got a 2016, I believe. It's a Harley Lowrider, black and red, looks real nice. Do a walk around for you. 103 engine. If you do the math, it comes somewhere around 1700 cc's. One of my subscribers asked me about a lowrider, which I commented on in one of my other videos. So I figured while I was up in Lafayette today, I'd swing by and see if I could take one out, get my impressions for him. So here we go. First thing to notice, like all Harleys, and I mentioned this before, mid-mount controls, gotta go. Stock exhaust, stock air, gotta go. Everything else is preference. Those are, well, I guess the mid controls are preference too, but for me, they gotta go. But anyway, a little different setup than the street bobs I did not too long ago. The ignition is over here on the side. Thought that was kind of cool instead of a thing here. Gas gauge, gas fill up. Here's your tach with your beams, head beams, your turn signals and neutral indicator. Got a gear indicator, your mileage. So this one has 2,500 miles on it. You know, this might be a used bike, now I think about it, and it's probably a 15. Here's mileage so far, trip A and B. Miles remaining for gas is 75, and then it says it's 11:25 in the morning. I don't know about that. I'll go back to gear. This probably has an RPM on it too. Most of them do. We'll check that out. Mirrors, not bad. I can see past my shoulders, which is better than some of the bikes. No fairing or windshield, obviously no bags. So let's take her out and see what happens. I just went down the road to get a feel for it before I started recording. Went over to some hospital parking lot. I think it's the same spot that I took that street bob to. Yeah, it does have a gear indicator, but difference from other gear indicators on the Harleys, it does not give the RPM. The RPM is down in the other speedometer thing. Or RPM gauge, wouldn't it be? So I don't try to take too terribly long on my test rides. I just get down to the nitty-gritty of what I think about the bike. No sense of dragging you guys around a half an hour of riding with me. I think I have to be back in 15 minutes anyway, so kind of defeats that purpose. One thing I did notice about this bike, and this is with all non-fairing or windshield bikes, is there's quite a bit of wind. So, you know, excuse the wind noise if I have any in my helmet. I'm trying for there not to be. As with any 103 engine, it's got quite a bit of pull to it. It's a lot better than my 1200 for sure, but it's nice. I think with a nice set of pipes on here, it's going to sound really good. Right now it's a 2-to-1 exhaust. I don't know if Vance and Hines make a 2-in-2 or not. I'm not a big fan of 2-to-1s. So in fourth gear, about 55 miles an hour, I'm hitting about 3,000 RPM. Go down to fifth gear, it knocks it down to about 2,200 or so. Now, unlike the street bob, I can see the speedometer without lowering my head. I don't know what the difference is with that. Maybe it's the way I'm seated, but I have to look down to see my RPMs. And I'm the type of person that likes to see my RPMs all the time. I don't really use the speedometer a whole lot. I'm more into judging how fast I'm going and stuff for my RPMs. And I like to stay around the 2,000 mark. That's where it sounds best for me on my Sportster. Turning is really good. I don't feel that I have to push in the corners too hard, but I do not like having to look down. So if you're wearing a full helmet or a modular helmet, you know, be prepared to have to look down to see your speedometer or your tack. Let's see how if I can get in this corner and touch. Yeah, averaging corners, because you know you're just in a race bike. You're not going to go on the track with this thing. You know, I don't feel that I was coming close to scraping my pegs. So once you move them forward, that might change a little bit. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you can also get floorboards for this model if that's your dig. You know, I'm not super big into floorboards, but whatever. Bike feels really balanced. I can easily move it around. You know, even going to 40 miles an hour, I can easily move it around. So, you know, getting out of the way from things isn't too terrible. I like the seat. For this being a 2015, the seat is really nice. I don't feel the battery pieces. You know how on most of the Harleys, they got kind of like a rounded edge to them, but the Dynas are square. And I don't know why they chose to do it. Maybe that's just their way of differentiating between this, other than where the springs are. But I don't feel like they're digging into my leg at all. I could ride comfortably on this. For being a lowrider, it's going to have a lower seating position than the other ones probably. I assume that's why they call it the lowrider. I'm able to flat foot it pretty easily. I don't have a lot of bend in my leg when I'm flat footing it, but I've got enough to where I feel that I could comfortably handle the bike if it tried to lean on me a little bit sitting still. Doesn't feel heavy at all. I think this bike ranges around the 700-pound mark. I don't notice it. Even sitting still, I don't feel like it's leaning one way or the other. That's where that nice Harley balance comes into. So I'm gonna pull back into Hunter's Moon real quick. And I asked to maybe test ride a Fat Bob too. So we'll see if he can get one of those out for me too. But like I said, one of my subscribers asked for my opinion on the Lowrider. I can dig this bike. I don't care a lot where the tack is, so that's kind of a negative point for me. But for the bike itself, yeah, I like it. It has some good pull to it, like the 103 should. Neutral is easy to find. I like where the key thing is over here, so that's cool. Somehow I put it in, oh, there it is. Well, somehow I put it in that, and I don't know how to get it out. So there you go, guys. That's a look at the 2015 Lowrider. See you around next time.